Roll call please, Judy.
Bill Estes.
Present.
John Dooley.
Here.
Gary Bailey.
Here.
Deborah Potter.
Here.
Kevin Wilson.
Here. Approval of the agenda, there's a change in the agenda where it says Paul Schaefer, it will now say John Feister.
I make a motion we approve the agenda as amended.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Did everybody get a chance to read the minutes? Any changes or corrections?
I'll move we approve the minutes as written.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Financial report, John.
Financial report for the Greensburg Municipal Airport. We have the three separate accounts. In the airport improvement account, the current balance $79,675.03. In the aviation rotary fuel account, $98,390.26. In the airport operations account, $424,576.52. The total of all three accounts combined, $603,243.81.
Okay. Update on construction, Mr. John.
Sure. I think you want me to go to the podium, Bill?
Yes, please.
All right. Good evening, everyone. John Feister, as Bill said, filling for Paul Schaefer. I'm a project manager in the airport group and engineer of record on the runway project. So very familiar with what's going on down here and happy to give you guys an update on where things stand. So first on the grade and drain project, HIS still has punch list items to do. Their punch list is mainly related to soil cleanup, rock cleanup, final seeding, things that can't be completed right now due to the weather. So we're going to continue to delay their partial retainage release until more of those punch list items are complete. That's really the update on the grade and drain. I will add there on the amendment request, we heard from the program manager at the FAA, Victor. He said that it's cleared all his hurdles and it's going to go to the region for approval. So Andrew Maximovich in our office has satisfied everything that Victor's looking for and it's moving on to the next step. So that's good news to report there. Construction update on the paving and lighting project. The first thing that Omera has to do is remove the soil overburden of the runway. That's the soil that will be used for the shoulders once the pavement goes in. That can't really be done yet either because of the wet conditions. We should move forward with that next week because we're going to have a little bit of a dry spell and things are going to warm up. So we're going to trend in the right direction there. In the meantime, Omera doesn't want the schedule to slip because of the wet conditions, so they're going to find some other things to do on site. They're going to start to prepare the foundation for the electrical vault building. They're working on some improvements to the staging area and the haul route. They've got silt fence installation to do. They're going to install a well. And as Bill observed, and some of you may also have observed, the cement for the soil stabilization has started to arrive on site as well. So once it dries out, they need about a week to do the soil, the earthwork operations, and then they're going to need 2 weeks for the cement stabilization, and then that will take another 2 weeks to cure. We have to cure that material once it's placed. And the electrical subcontractor is going to get started in that same time. So as soon as we get it to dry out, Omera is going to start moving earth, and then we'll get the cement stabilized and start building the section up from there. So those are the updates on the 2 construction projects. You guys should have a copy of the construction progress meeting minutes from the last progress meeting that was held on March 30th. If you have any questions on that, I can answer that. Other than that, I've just got 3 action items for the board to consider tonight. First one is motion to approve AIP 20, FAA partial pay request number 10 in the amount of $22,537.50. That is your 100% federally funded grant for the runway 119 paving and lighting phase.
I make a motion we approve AIP 20 in the amount of $22,537.50.
Second.
say aye.
Aye.
Approved.
Second action item is motion to approve AIP 21, FAA partial pay request number 2, in the amount of $17,653.47. That's a 90% federal share of $15,888, and a 5% state share and a 5% local share, $882.67 and $882.80 respectively. Also for the runway 119 paving and lighting phase.
Any question?
I'll make a motion to approve that for AIP 21, the partial pay request number 2 in the amount listed.
I'll second it.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And the last motion that I have is motion to approve contractor's progress estimate number 3 for Dave O'Mara Contractors in the amount of $16,862.50 in conjunction with runway 119 paving and lighting phase. This is under your AIP 23.
I make a motion to approve the contract progress estimate number 3 in the amount of $16,862.50.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Approved.
And lastly, I will just briefly touch on the bill funding for the jet holding apron for a C2 jet. We had a call with the FAA this morning and the planning staff at the FAA to kind of go over what we're looking to do here at the airport, and they seemed receptive to the information we gave them, asked for a pretty routine list of things that we'll need to complete in order to justify the project, show environmental approval, show that we're constructing this on airport property, things like that. So we didn't really get any curveballs from that call, which was nice. So I just wanted to report that we're working on that behind the scenes as well.
Good.
That's all I have for you guys.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Jerry?
Well, everything's just pretty much routine at the airport. We still have some fuel cells, even in the cold weather and stuff. It's been pretty brisk at times. We've had 2 hangars have changed hands lately, so we shortened the list a little bit, but we still got people waiting if we get one hangar comes open. And still waiting to hear on if our mower came in or not. So that stuff's starting to grow, so one of these days we're probably gonna be needing something. So I'll try to touch base with him before next meeting, see what's going on for sure.
Who vacated hangars, Jerry?
Sorry.
Who vacated hangars?
John Grinder,
Oh.
he moved out, and
Matt Weedman.
actually he's done flying, you know.
Sure.
And another guy, Matt Wiedemann, put a strip on his father's farm down by Milan, or Sunland, down that area somewhere, and so he moved out for that one. So, anyhow, if anybody's got any questions, there's some firewood out there for you, there, Gary.
Okay. That's the big stuff, right?
No, they cut some nice sized stuff for you, about so big
Is
around.
it right where they stationed everything?
It's, if you come into construction, it'll be on your right. There's a pile of stuff on the left that is not, they got that from somewhere else, and that's not ours.
Okay,
So,
thank you.
yours is all walnut, it splits real easy.
Okay. Good deal.
See,
Okay, the tree removal is complete on the Sterchi property. We're still waiting for the bill from Trent Camp.
I have not seen it yet, so yes, we are still waiting.
Okay, next, approval of the liability. Did everybody get a copy of that?
Looks like that's a new,
It's not new, we pay for it every year, that actually, remember last month, we opened that paper that said that it was gonna discontinue? That's the one that's gonna discontinue at that time if we do not renew. And so, I've been in contact with Holly Disbrow from our insurance company, and, she said that, it's very similar, it's just somebody new that's,
it's a new insurance company, is it, or?
yes, but no, it's
Yes
still
and
through
no.
Encore, who we pay every
Okay,
year.
I get it.
It's all also the Encore is also our general liability. I've not gotten that bill yet, but she said that it will be coming. But this one, because I'm not real good with how insurance works as far as this goes, but, basically it's a new bid for it. It's a different company that's bidding for it, even though it's through Encore. So she just needs the approval, and if you approve it, I would appreciate an approval to pay it as well, because it needs to be paid by the 15th.
Yeah, looks like it's just slightly less than our last year.
Just slightly more.
Slightly more?
Yes, it'll be 3,163, and last year it was 2,839,
Okay.
25.
This says the annual premium is $27.75, am I missing something?
Yes, if you look right underneath that, it's got
Oh, I see.
policy fee, carrier fee, et cetera,
Got it,
so.
okay. Okay. So you needed approval on that, right?
And an approval to pay, if we
Okay.
can.
I'll make the motion if there's pending some discussion that we approve and authorize her to pay this.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Approved.
I-
Okay.
If I can, just a second, one more thing, when Jerry was talking about the mower, I think you and I had talked about, we may need to do an additional appropriation. I would suggest if we're thinking that it's gonna come in within the next month or so, that we get that on the books for next month's council meeting,
Okay,
which means I would need to put it in the paper 10 days before the council meeting, so, just a suggestion that we may need to move on that sooner than later. It just would be a good idea.
why don't we do it tonight?
Do it now.
So I honestly don't know if
Do
it's a
you need a motion from us or just?
But if you just give me the green light, I will write it up. I will be able to bring it to you by your meeting next month. And then I would rather be safe and put it in the paper with the right amount of time and then not present it to the council if we decide not to, than to, have to wait another month. So, if you're good with that, I will go ahead, and put that in and take it out of the operating fund, because I think that's the only thing we have the most money in, that it would make the most sense to do the additional out of that.
Yeah, I'm in favor if everybody else. Need a motion or don't need a motion, but
Make a motion, we would make a motion to appropriate the funds for the mower.
Okay,
we're the
Do we know how much? I know that you and I talked, we thought 40. Do you know, Jerry, how much?
34 something, I think.
34.
Oh, even better.
Yeah.
hell of a deal.
So, get it going.
I guess I just need to know how much we want to make it for.
We'll find out. You got a copy of it, Jerry?
I don't have it with me, but I can call you and tell you.
That would be great,
Okay.
yeah, okay.
Very
And then,
good.
like I said, I can bring it to you next meeting, just for your last, green light to take it to the council in May, so.
All right,
And you need permission of the council, what, just to trade categories of the monies, or?
Because it is a change in our budget,
Oh, I got, okay.
I have to
You're
have
right.
the council approve it,
Okay, I get it.
yeah. Okay,
okay, thank you.
Yep.
Approval of bills. Everybody get a copy of the bills? Anybody see anything, well, other than the fact that the REMC is 2 months?
Just curious, what did we pay a Ford abstract for this?
That was listed,
Maybe property,
yeah, thanks.
The bank property, okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
it finished.
that actually came from last year, that we had not, Don Tribbett sent it and said that they had never received payment for it, so
Okay.
we were just kind of making up,
Right.
tying up loose ends with all that.
Okay.
Okay.
When people are finished with discussion, I'll make a motion, we approve these bills as listed.
I second it.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion approved. You have something to,
No.
okay. Any comments from the board or the audience? I would like to make a comment that I feel that O'Mara is gonna do a good job. They're showing up and starting and not like HIS. It looks impressive so far. I'll accept the motion to adjourn.
I make the motion we adjourn until next month's meeting.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye.